Welcome. This is Real Empowerment. I am Daniel Ratcliffe.
And I'm Rebecca Michael.
And today we have some really special guests with us. One first-timer, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then a repeat offender.
Yes. We just can't, she just can't stay away.
Yeah, we can't shake her.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Nor would you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
We would not want to.
Exactly. But yeah, so today we have with us Brock, which I don't remember your last name because I'm a horrible
with an
host.
E.
The last name is Ernst.
Yes.
Ernst. I will never forget that. And then Marsha Unruh with us today.
We're gonna do a
Hello.
We're gonna do a VIC update. So the last time we talked about VIC was earlier this year. Well, by the time you hear this, it'll be probably March of 2020. So almost a year we haven't had an update on VIC, and things have changed. Great things.
Yes.
Expanding.
Yes.
So
So we'll talk about that.
Yes, we'll
Okay.
get there. So I guess we can start with growth if you want and where you are now. Because before you were in only maybe, 10 counties? Or
No,
in 10
maybe
counties
5, if
Okay.
that. Yeah, and now we're in 12.
Woohoo!
That's a huge increase.
So I'll
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the program. So it's Veteran in Charge. It is veteran-directed care, and it's a VA-funded program for veterans who need help in their home, and they need to stay in their home and community, and they don't want to end up in a nursing home or assisted living. They want to live out their lives at home. And so veteran-directed care, or the Veteran in Charge program, as it's referred to at the Independence Center, is really about veterans directing their care. I want to hire my spouse, my son, my daughter, my good friend to help me with activities of daily living, whether that is bathing, dressing, eating, maybe some mobility transferring issues, or even transportation to medical appointments or what have you, cooking a meal, those kinds of things.
Sure.
And that does not replace any benefits the veteran is currently receiving. I think that's really key to mention because it doesn't affect the stipend they might get from the VA.
Sure.
The only thing it replaces is if they're receiving home health care.
Okay.
So a veteran chooses how they want to live and who they want to provide that care. And I think last time we were here, we were in maybe 5 counties, and now we're in 12.
Nice.
So we are out to the Kansas border. Kit Carson, Lincoln, and Cheyenne just started out there. And then we go to Elbert County, Douglas, Park, Teller, Custer, Fremont, Huerfano, Pueblo, and El Paso. That should be 12.
Wow.
And
amazing.
then now and then the VA needs some extra help out of Jeffco,
Okay.
Jefferson County, Arapahoe County. And so we're working with a lot of the veterans who have ALS or spinal cord injury
Sure.
out of those counties.
Wow.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So how many vets do you have? How many vets are you providing care for right now?
Right now, 115.
Definitely an expansion of where you guys were when you first came in to talk to us. That's amazing.
It hasn't
Yeah.
even been a year yet, has it?
I think it's apropos to mention that the growth happened after my hiring.
Yes, I have to mention that as well.
So when did
Yes.
Brock start? Let's dig into that. Brock, when did you join this group of
I joined in April of this year.
2019?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And what is your current position?
One of the veteran coaches.
Nice.
So
Okay.
there's 4 vet coaches
There's
right now?
4 veteran coaches,
Wow.
and we have one who takes on a little of a coordinator role
Okay.
to oversee some of the work that the vet coaches do.
Gotcha.
Nice.
And Holland, who has come in and talked to us a number of times, is also part of your team.
Yes.
What does she do?
She's a quality support specialist because the VA is a lot of red tape
Oh, yeah.
and a ton of paperwork. And so she makes sure that we have all our ducks in a row as far as documentation is concerned. She also helps with billing, too.
The paper boss is really
Total
sounds
paper
like what
boss.
she is.
Yes.
Stickler. Have you had to have conversations about what she expects from your files, Brock? Or
Yeah, all the time.
Emphasis on the quality.
yeah, what are you doing? This is how you do this. I can see her just really, being direct about it, but also being her very Holland self, which is just very.
I like her
compassionate and
nervous
kind.
laugh.
I know, me too.
I love it.
Yes.
When she gets nervous, she does this little laugh. I can't even do it.
Yes.
What's up, Holland?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, Brock, how did you find this position at the Independence Center? What was that process like?
Well, I wasn't looking for a job at the time. I'm medically retired from the United States Army, so I was just kind of chilling at home. And my oldest daughter was looking for a job, and we got on the internet, and the first thing that popped up was the Independence Center Veteran Coach. And I looked at it, and I was like, that sounds kind of cool.
Nice.
So I applied for it, and now I have a job and I'm employed.
It doesn't get much better than that. It's pretty awesome.
But I got to tell you a story. So he was the last one that I phone screened. And I had already had I think I had phone screened maybe 10 people. Nice. I was going to bring in these folks. I already had them scheduled. I thought, I got to go through with it. Right. And so it was sort of a done deal that I wasn't even to bring
you were
him
on
in
the bottom of the list, the bottom of the stack, Brock.
And then about, I don't know, maybe 15 seconds in, I thought, man, I really like this guy. And I thought we had a really good conversation. And then I put him forward to the team because I don't do the final interview.
Sure.
And so the team brought in the folks that I wanted them to interview, and they picked Brock. And so
nice.
I offered him the job over the phone, and then maybe a couple of days later said, hey, should we have a cup of coffee so I can recognize
meet you face to face?
And you can recognize me when we see each other. And that's kind of how it started.
You gotta love it. You're like, cool. Yeah, maybe I should actually see you.
Yeah, probably a good thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So that we don't look like strangers when we're meeting for the first time at work on your first day.
And the very first day that he worked, we had a statewide collaboration meeting with veteran-directed care, where we had the VAs from Cheyenne and Denver and Salt Lake City in, and all of our partners. And that was his
happy first day.
Very first day.
There you go.
Very first day.
A lot of fun.
Threw him into the fire.
Yeah, exactly. So before you got to the Independence Center, you had mentioned that you were medically retired from the U.S. Army. So how long were you in the Army, and what did you do? And
I was in for 12 years. I had a few different jobs, but the one that was consistent, well, one thing I did consistently throughout my Army career was from the first day to the last day I was a paratrooper, and that's probably my most proud thing. That it's cool to tell people that you're a medic or whatever, but I jumped out of airplanes.
Yeah,
for
you
12
willingly
years.
threw your body out of an airplane.
Yeah. So that was pretty. That's
and
pretty
trusted
awesome.
that your that nylon parachute was going to
that
open.
piece of fabric was going to hold all of this.
Get me safely to the ground.
Yeah. Cool. So I did both static line and free fall. Static line is you're connected to the bird. It's 8 to 1,500 feet. Mm-hmm. Free fall is more of your skydiving type thing. So.
Woof.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't know if I could do that.
How are your knees?
That's what I was going to ask.
Exactly.
Well, I don't walk upstairs very well or down them, so
sure.
there was some sacrifice, but it was,
yeah.
I got paid to jump out of an airplane.
It's pretty cool.
People pay a lot of money to do that for fun. I got paid to do it. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, sure, I'll jump out of that plane if you pay me. And they did.
I did. So, yeah, it was pretty
kids
cool.
That are listening, you can grow up and be something.
And get paid to do it.
And get paid to do it. You can grow up and jump out of a plane and get paid to do it.
Just be aware that when you come down to the ground and your legs are supposed to catch you, your knees likely will be trashed.
Before you pass that recruiting table, think about this. Flipping burgers or jumping out of a plane?
Yes, really think about that.
I think I'll choose jumping out of a plane.
Yeah. How would that work for being blind?
Easy.
You don't have to see anything.
Right. This thing does open by itself at some point, right?
True, but then do you know when the ground is about to
It doesn't
smack
matter.
you?
You can feel it. Yeah, you can actually hear it.
Yeah. That's true.
It sounds like it's getting a little closer.
Your body knows when it's coming.
When you get that feeling in your stomach where you feel like you're about to lose control of your bowels, the ground is close.
Yeah. Body parts start to tense up.
That's good good to know. I still don't think I want to try it. I'm good.
I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll video you doing it.
How about we say we did and don't? Yeah, we can say we did and not do it.
Oh my goodness! But Brock has actually done it, so he can legitimately say it. But us, not so much.
Right. My grandfather actually was one of the first African American jumpers out of Fayetteville.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Really?
That's awesome.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So know a little bit about the history, like the static line and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really
Pretty cool. Yep. And thank you for your service too. We did.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
we
Everybody
appreciate
was
that.
worth it.
Appreciate it. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, with working with veterans, do you find that because of your service, it's more of a connection, like a camaraderie, or, tell us what that feels like when you first started working with veterans here.
It was just like walking into work every day.
Yeah.
There is a language, there's a connection, there's a feeling. You see things in people's eyes, they see your eyes, they're like, you know.
You understand me.
Yeah, now I get paid to talk to veterans all day long. That's super cool, man. Like, I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
People pay me to do awesome stuff, so.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
It's because you're capable of doing awesome stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
and then, Holland makes sure I do the paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
That's not super awesome, but no, it's really good to give back. Especially, I work with a lot of the Vietnam veteran era people, and that's super awesome. Like, those guys are, I came back a hero, they came back, and got spit on. So
Right.
I really feel like I get to do something good for them and positive, and that's super awesome for me.
Yeah.
So
Nice, man.
and give back. So
Yeah, that
It's
makes
empowering.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad is a Vietnam era veteran, so he paid people. So his job was to make sure that you got paid.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm glad I wasn't infantry, but I also understood that if I didn't pay the checks on time, then families who are depending on the soldiers' funds to live while they were out fighting was really going to impact them. So his perspective is a little bit different because he wasn't in Vietnam, but he understood the importance of his role to ensure that the soldiers aren't worrying about their families and making sure that those bills get paid. But it's really, you're right. When you look at the history of the Vietnam veterans and when they came back, that was not a really great homecoming for them.
Right.
And they struggled still. Still to this day, there's a lot of struggle to get them the services that they need. But when you think about, I wasn't treated any kind of good way when I came back.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I going to trust that the VA is going to take care of me?
Yeah.
And the cool thing about the veteran coaches is that you guys get to kind of be that PR, I guess, for the VA and go, this is a program that they decided that they wanted to create and it's needed. So we're going to come and invest time into you. I'm going to check in with you. I'm going to make sure that you have what you need. Yeah. We're going to connect you with services that are going to help you live your life. So
definitely,
it's an amazing program. It's exciting to see what happens when someone gets connected to the Veteran in Charge program. Mm-hmm. It's really cool.
And most of our veterans are Vietnam era. Okay. And what we find too, though, is you need to ask someone, have you ever served in the military? Not necessarily, are you a veteran?
Right.
Because some of them don't consider themselves veterans.
Right.
Because they didn't fight in the war. They were only there for a year or two.
Right.
You're still a veteran, and you still can get VA benefits.
Right.
And then trying to convince them to go to the VA and get those benefits can be really
it's a whole
complicated.
struggle.
Yeah. And so we really encourage people to do it because there's just so much out there
Right.
that they could receive and so much support.
Right. And it's really cool to see that as the VIC program through the Independence Center has grown, that more veterans are being touched by it. And then it further expands the program in other states.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with the growth of VIC here in our catchment, in our community, what other communities have reached out to you to learn more or to develop their programs?
All over the United States. We work with the Administration on Community Living out of D.C.,
Okay.
and they partnered with the VA to do this program, to actually implement the program and design it. And I did a webinar for them the other day, and we had 220 centers for independent living from around the United States listening in.
Amazing.
And from that webinar, 80 CILs, Centers for Independent Living, actually reached out to ACL and said, we want to do this program. We want to develop it. We want it in our community.
It's amazing.
And so we're working on some stuff on our website to help people with that. But I also do a lot of one-on-one work. I recently did some work with all of the Florida Centers for Independent Living that are interested in bringing that program on. And a lot of them are skeptical about working with the VA.
Sure.
Or, how do we get paid? How does that work? How do we get referrals? Is this really needed in our community? And just kind of going through that process and talking with them is really helpful.
Right.
But I've worked with folks from California, Florida, Vermont, D.C., Virginia, Idaho, Ohio, all over. And they're interested in just working with veterans.
Right.
That's really key.
Right.
How was this program created? How was the VIC program created? Where did it begin?
With the Independence Center, I think it took about a year.
Okay.
They worked with the AAA, the Area Agency on Aging, here in the Pikes Peak region. And the AAA decided they didn't want to do it. They just couldn't front the money for the program. And so the Independence Center stepped up and said, shoot, we'll do it. Why not?
Right.
And so they had to go through a readiness review, a lot of red tape, a lot of paperwork, detailing how this program would look. And then once they got that done, they just sat and waited for the VA to do the final approval. They brought me in. And they said, okay, we're almost there. We're ready to start. And go.
Hurry
whenever
up
you're
already.
ready. Whenever you're ready. And so I started in October, brought Ashley in December. And then we had our first referral in January and our second in February. And then I had to wait 6 months because I had to make sure that we got paid.
Sure.
From the VA, and that payment process was working.
Right.
And 6 months later, it was working fine, and I said, we're good to go, and they gave me 30 referrals.
Oh.
And we jumped through hoops to get everybody enrolled and have been kind of rolling nonstop since.
Right.
Nice.
And we have had your other vet coaches come in and talk about, their work, and we've actually had a couple of veterans come in that work within the VIC program with coaches, and it's amazing that when you talk to them about their service and how proud they are, and then there's this period of time where they got out of the service and they're kind of trying to figure themselves out, and they're also disabled, and they're just trying to live life, and they don't know how to do that. And the concern for anybody who is disabled is, where am I gonna be stuck in an institution because I can't take care of myself? Right. And we deal with that within our disability community all the time. But the Veteran in Charge program really focuses on keeping them in their home and what supports can come around them to maintain that, which is just remarkable because it's not going to impact the money that they get from the VA. So
That's
it's
correct.
Not coming out of their pay so they can take care of their families. It's something additional that's going to keep them home.
It's just another service.
Yeah. That's really
and
great.
what we find a lot of times too, our family members come out and they're quitting their job because they're helping their veteran at home, and they're not getting paid, so that income isn't coming in. And in this case, a veteran could hire that family member, and they could get paid to take care of the veteran.
Right.
And then we have the other half that say, I'm not doing this anymore.
No more.
I want to go back to work, but let me hire somebody to come in and help you. Or the veteran can hire somebody to come in and help.
And they go through that process of hiring and doing some interviews.
They do their own hiring and firing and training. It is veteran directed.
That's amazing. Yeah. So it's really not. Here's your CNA for the day.
Nope, not at all.
Teach them how to take care of you. It's really find someone
Yeah.
that will be consistent.
And we can help with that too. If somebody doesn't have, a family member or a friend or knows of anybody that would take care of them, we can help find that person too.
Sure.
Nice.
That is so cool. Yeah. Well, so let's recap since we did an update. You are now in 12 counties in Colorado, and your training resource reach has gone across the country.
Yes.
You've added another coach to this mix, which is always fun.
Yes.
And Brock seems to fit in pretty well.
I think most
know
days,
the group.
most days, yeah.
I know the group pretty well, so I'm thinking, yep, they picked a good one. So I'm glad that they were able to do that. And so what's next? What's next for the VIC program?
Well, we are recently moving under home health.
Within the Independence
Our
Center.
home health division at the Independence Center.
big.
So it'll be working with the home health division to see if we can maybe share some caregivers, see how we can support each other. So the transition's going to be really interesting for us. I can see a lot of parallels in the work that we do. And I think we could both be very successful at growing this more.
And
I don't think I want to expand other counties.
you're like, I
I don't
just
think
need
I
a
can
break.
do that anymore. I think I'm about a quarter of the state. I think
Yes.
that's good for a little bit. We
There's
are
still-
helping out Denver, but it's okay.
There's still 44, 45 counties I think left that you can still conquer. Come on, Marsha. Dream big.
I don't know about that.
They're going to have to give me a car if they drive it.
He's like, you want me to drive where now?
You haven't even talked about your area and where you drive.
Yes. Where do you
Where?
go? All over the place, I'm sure.
So originally I was sent to Teller County and had some veterans out there in the Florissant, Fairplay, Cripple Creek. And then we started going out to Canyon City, which is which county? Fremont County. And I had a couple people in El Paso County. And then once we picked up Arapahoe and Douglas, I stared driving out there too.
Oh,
so.
you have him everywhere, Marsha.
But not Pueblo.
Not Pueblo.
Not Pueblo.
I think
Everywhere
we should just
but
get you a
Pueblo.
plane.
Everywhere but Pueblo. And Huerfano.
And where for now?
And you probably won't go to Kit Carson, Lincoln, and Cheyenne if we get that referral in.
Those are like hours and hours drives.
I think what complicates things out in the Kit Carson, Lincoln, Cheyenne area is people just say, are you really going to do this program out here? Because they have a lot of folks that come out to that small community
Yeah.
and say, hey, we're going to do X, Y, and Z, and
they're
then
like-
nothing ever happens or it folds in
They're like,
whatever
sure you.
period of time. So I think getting started in small communities is difficult.
Sure.
And I did spend a day out in Burlington, but that'll probably be next on our plate too, is visiting some of the newer counties and just making ourselves known and making connections
Sweet.
with like the veteran service officer out there, any medical facilities they might have, local librarian, you just whomever. I'll talk to anybody.
Any of those people that are kind of the know all of the community.
That core.
Yeah, the postmaster. They know everybody's mail
Yes.
business.
Yes.
Go talk to the postmaster in those small towns. The stuff you'll learn, I'm sure. Well, thank you guys for coming and talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope we didn't scare you
Appreciate
too
that.
much.
Right. Sorry I haven't been super lively. This is an episode that Daniel
I'll
did
let you
not
have a
have
pass.
Red Bull. Thank you. We'll have you
Exactly.
back.
Just today.
We
Thank
probably
you.
should do a warning before people listen to this. Daniel did not have Red
No
Bull.
Red Bull for Daniel. Be careful.
You can either listen to primarily Rebecca talking
Yes.
or just keep on passing by.
You're not chopped liver, Becca.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for that. Just remember that when I make you mad. And then we get crickets.
I'm
Any more
remembering. I'm
questions?
remembering it. I'm remembering it.
He's like, I'm putting it in my Rolodex in my
Yes.
head.
We'll cut that section out.
No, this is the good stuff. We like the good stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So, is there anything before we wrap this up? Is there anything pressing that you guys want to throw out on the table?
Anything
Any
else we
new
didn't
news?
cover?
How to contact us.
Yes. Well,
That is
Daniel's
great.
about to get that.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm ready to do
Yes,
that now.
how about
You can
that?
do that now,
Hey,
Daniel.
so Marsha, I'm gonna act like that didn't happen. So Marsha, how can a veteran contact you?
So you can call the Independence Center at 719-471-8181 and ask for VIC, which is short for Veteran in Charge. And whoever is a veteran coach or me that's on the phone that day. We'll chat with you. You can also ask for a consult for the program, and that would be a consult for veteran-directed care from your VA primary care physician or your social worker, anybody on your team at the clinic. And if there are any veterans out there that have not signed up for VA benefits, for VA medical benefits, I would highly encourage you to take your DD-214 and your ID and go to the VA clinic today and sign up.
Bombard them.
Absolutely.
Get it done.
Absolutely.
Get it done.
Got you. So if you guys are, if you listeners are really enjoying this podcast and you would like to listen to more podcasts, you can find us on just about every streaming service, whether it be Spotify, Apple. You can find us on Podomatic. You just look for Real Empowerment, and it will bring up our podcast episodes. Please like and subscribe and share. You can also find us on YouTube. If you type in the Independence Center, and you can find Real Empowerment, like, share, and subscribe as well.
Leave us some comments.
Leave Becca some comments.
I'll leave you some comments.
Okay.
Becca would usually say, hey, come see us. I'm going to say, don't come see us down at the Independence Center. But
see us.
Feel free to give us a nice little postcard. Mail it in. We're at 729 South Tejon here in Colorado Springs. The phone number is 719-471-8181. Even if you're not interested in seeing our beautiful faces and you just want to find out more about the Independence Center, feel free to dial that number, and our front desk will definitely help you out. Am I missing something? Oh, you can also find us on our website, www.theindependencecenter.org. You can check out all the cool things that we have going on. Check out our calendar. And some of our episodes are posted on the site as well.
Yep.
So with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and wrap this up because I need some type of energy.
You did a good job.
I tried.
Yeah, you did.
I feel sluggish.
That effort was there.
Amazing.
Yes. You didn't make it look easy, that's for sure.
Thanks a lot, Becca. Really appreciate that. I'm Daniel Ratcliffe.
I'm Rebecca Michael.
And this is Real Empowerment.